There was some major news out of baseball. Juan Soto cashes in, as you can see the graphic up here, 15 years, $765 million to sign with the New York Mets. Let me just go ahead and put this in perspective for you right quick, how much money that actually is. We're out of Florida here, and so we have two soccer teams here, the Orlando City Soccer Club and Orlando Pride. He can literally buy both clubs and still have a remaining $247 million. That's two professional teams and still have $247 million left over. That is ridiculous amounts of money, man. I thought this graphic was pretty cool up here, man. Just break it down for you. He's getting paid $51 million a year, $4.25 million per month, $980,000 per week, $140 per day, $5,820 per hour, $97 a minute like a hotline. BC, you're a baseball guy, man. What are your thoughts on this one, bro?
I wish I was Juan Soto right now. The things I would do with that money. I mean, first of all, I'd throw some change to Orlando Pride, who won NWSL Cup. Like, shout out to them. No shade at all thrown over here. Like, congratulations. Bringing home first major championship to Orlando. Magic been trying to get it done for years. I love my Magic, but, like, come on now. But, hey, shout out to the Pride, though. They got the job done. Happy to see it. But yeah, going back though to Juan, it's obviously a tremendous blessing for him. You talk about generational wealth. That is that and then some. You got generations times like 50 right there. The amount of people you can impact with that. But it's well-deserving. Dude's one of the best players in the sport. Obviously, baseball continues to rake in cash. Baseball's always been known to have these big, outlandish, extravagant contracts. So I'm not surprised by it. Not surprised it's done by a New York team. Maybe slightly that it wasn't the Yankees, but again, they've got way more superstars they got to juggle. And, you know, some players, they want to chase rings. Some players chase the bag. Juan Soto's chasing the bag. I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, G-Mike, man, that was the point I was going to bring up to you. As the Yankees fan down here, are you shocked or surprised at all that Juan Soto chose the Mets over the Yankees?
No, I'm not surprised at all because, like BC says, we have a bunch of players that we need to pay. One right now, top priority is going to be Aaron Judge, 100%. And then we got to get some pitching involved as well because we saw in the World Series that the pitching was non-existent. So we got to bring in some pitching.
Well, just before we went live, Max Fried just signed with the Yankees. So it was between them and the Red Sox. So I will respectfully say thank you for that one. Thanks, guys.
We got to get him back, man. He got to get some money, and he wanted the money. Instead of the Red Sox were going to give him much money as we were. Let's be honest. So that's why he came over to us. But just for Juan Soto, man, I'm mad happy for him, bro. Like, it's a big time achievement. 15 years is a huge security blanket. You don't have to worry about anything for the next 15 years. And then $765 million, man. Like, bro, like to think about just having $100 million, like that's some insane shit. To have $665 million. Yo, that is literally generational money. His kids are gonna be good for life. Yeah. Man. So my respect for him to go with that deal, man. I get why he didn't want to stay with the Yankees. He's getting more money with the Mets, but as a Yankees fan, it does suck for him to leave because we just went to the World Series mainly because of him, really. But you know, he's gonna be gone, and it's gonna be kaput for us.
Yeah, so I guess my take on this one is I'm happy for Juan Soto. Anybody that can make that much money. I really don't like the deal though. I think that these deals never pan out. These deals never work out, and they haven't learned, I guess, from the Albert Pujols deal when that happened years ago. These deals never end up working out. So what's going to end up happening is he's going to wash out. He's already not a great fielder. He's a great hitter. So you're going to basically paying a $51 million a year designated hitter. I don't really like the trade for it, and I don't think he should be making more than Ohtani, which that deal was already insane. It was a bidding war. The Mets obviously wanted that, so they gave it to him. But there's no way in hell I think he should be making more money than Ohtani. And on top of it, too, I just don't think this deal is going to be worth it for the Mets in the long run. There is some opt-out deals. There are some deals where if he stays longer, it could actually reach almost $800 million. I believe it's after the fifth year he has an option to opt out. I don't know what the Mets do at that point, if they can't get a ring within that point. Now, if they're able to sign Pete Alonso, re-sign Pete Alonso, bring him back, Lindor, Alonso, and Soto, that's a hell of a lineup to have to pitch to. I like it if they can be able to get him back, but otherwise, I don't really think that this was a smart move to spend all of that on there. I like Soto. I think he's a great young player. He's 26. So he'll be closer to about 38, 40 years old when this thing's all said and done. It's baseball. I'm sure there'll be some, reconstructions with this or whatever they call it, Having said that, though, I don't think the deal was really smart for the Mets to do it for 15 years. I know that's what the going rate was, and that's how they could do it if they wanted to get him. I just don't really like the deal very much.
But you don't like the deal because it's Juan Soto, or you don't like the deal just because they're spending so much money?
I think it's a combination of both. I don't think Soto is worth paying the $765 for. He's an average fielder at best. And I just go based off of Shohei. Shohei literally is one of the top 5 pitchers in the league and top 5 batters in the league, and has stolen bases. He has so much more to the table. That deal makes a little bit more sense to me. Soto, on the other hand, I don't think he's worth that. I think he should have been in the. I don't know if anybody's ever worth $600 to $700 million, but I could see him maybe getting to like the $700 million range. I could buy that. That would be fine for maybe like 12 years, which is still too long. I don't like any of these long-term contracts. They never work out for the team because the player, something either happens. I mean, he could be done quick and this thing's over with, He's only 26, so you have enough time, but I just don't like the deal. It's too long and too much money.
Yeah. Go ahead, George.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was just going to kind of echo that. I mean, I will say with the Pujols deal, it's a little different because he was on the other side of 30 when he signed that contract with the Angels.
Yes, you're correct.
But again, you only have about like 5 years, and then he's already past 30. So
exactly,
are you really going to get 10 years? Are you going to take 5 years of potentially a superstar for 10 years of dwindling returns? I don't. That's a decision they make. I agree as far as like these long-term exorbitant contracts, but again, that's the sport of baseball, and it's kind of like you said, like both ways, where it kind of screws the team over financially for long term, and it also, we always see it with these guys too. They get paid, not that they slack off a whole lot, but they slack off just enough to where they're not the Mets aren't going to get the return on investment. And I understand, like you said, Steve, paying that much for Shohei, who's a 50-50 threat in the season, this was just as the DH, so right. Just for his hitting, but he was also able to make an impact on the bases. I understand that, but for Juan, who is not the same hitter or the same base runner as or
even fielder at that moment for all intents and purposes.
So as much, so you're basically paying more for a lesser product. What's that thing?
You're paying for. I mean, to me, it kind of seems like they're paying for an expensive DH, which they already have in Pete Alonso.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying with it. No offense to Juan Soto. Every time I've ever seen him, he always seems like a really good kid. I'm happy for him to be able to get that money, like you guys were saying too. It's generational wealth, and if anybody is able to offer you that much money, you're damn sure going to take it, of course. So nothing against the player, nothing like that. I don't think it's smart for the Mets, and apparently they still haven't learned spending a lot of money on a player. Ergo, Bobby Bonilla, they're still paying the man, So, and one more thing I wanted to bring up about this deal, though, too, is that the difference in the Shohei deal and Soto deal, Shohei is deferred. This one is not. So that's a major factor for the Mets. The Dodgers are still going to be able to stay relevant pretty much the entire Shohei contract because he's only going to be making about $2 to $3 million a year to have arguably the best player in baseball. So that's a major difference.
And let's be realistic as well. The Dodgers literally were able to capitalize on that in the shortest amount of time possible.
Yep.
Whereas the Mets, are we really going to look at the New York Mets next year and say, oh, title contenders immediately?
Right, and even in their division, they still have to go through Philly and Atlanta, and which are still going to be good. Now Atlanta did just lose Fried, but having said that, though, I mean they're still going to be a competitive team. Acuna's coming back, so it's going to be very interesting. Good for Soto once again, though. Good for Soto to get that money, but I just don't know if I necessarily like the deal. And the one last thing I wanted to bring up about Soto as well, and it may not mean that much, but he already has been in the league for 6 to 7 years. He came in the league so young. He may only be 26, but he's already been playing since he was 19. So, I mean, he's already got a little bit of wear and tear on the body on there. Not too bad. Still only 26. But having said that, though, I don't know. I don't like the deal. Yeah. You got anything else on that one, guys?
No. Hey, fat contract, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Good for him, man. I think it's the largest in American sports history. And I feel like it was literally almost to this day, a year ago, we were doing the radio show and we were talking about Shohei breaking this contract. Is this good for sports and everything, So,
I mean, it's a win for Soto. It's a loss for the Mets, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Point Soto lost Mets, but good luck for the Mets on that one.
Maybe that's why the Yankees didn't want to give it to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Yankees, the offer they offered, they didn't want to go 15. I think that was one of the determining factors. And now there's also some stuff coming out that Soto was a little bit frustrated with the Yankees. There was an instance, I guess, where one of his family members got kicked out of a certain area. He didn't like it at all. And I guess he never really got over it. I don't know if he ever felt really super comfortable there either. So we'll see, man.